Just let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
All right. Now what?
Yeah. Okay, so you cross out -1 to the end. And you can also cross out x plus 1 to the end. You're left with 1x plus 1 on top.
Okay, now what?
And you can also cross out 2 to the end.
See ya. And then you're left with?
Well, I went ahead and took off -1 because it's going to be positive anyways, because you want to do positive. So I did limit of n approaches infinity, absolute value x plus 1 over 2.
Okay. And what do we do now?
Is that your limit?
Yeah.
There's no more n.
Yeah, n is gone, so we don't even need that anymore. Now we're back to the ratio test. What does the ratio test tell us? Where does this converge?
It's less than 1.
And there's your progression on to the next part of the problem. Solve for x. Right away, you should know the center is -1, the radius is 2, but let's just go ahead and show it. So, drop the the absolute value. Multiply both sides by 2. And then subtract 1. Are you with me? Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So there are your two plausible, or your two endpoints. We just need to determine if they're going to be a plus, or a bracket or a parentheses. So how do we do that?
You plug in -3 into the original
Okay,
function
so
of x.
let's do that. Okay, when I do that, what do I get?
We get -1 to the n, -2 to the n, over 2 to the n.
What does that simplify to?
1 to the n.
No matter what I plug in for n equals 1.
Right.
Okay, now what do I do? Does this diverge or converge is the question. You plug in and you simplified, you got 1. So what's the very first test you should try?
Divergence test.
The divergence test? I don't know about the divergence test. I'm such a nerd, I know.
So let's see. So if it doesn't equal 0, it means it diverges.
Yes, ma'am. So that tells me that -3 gets a parentheses. Now plug into 1.
-1 to the n is always going to be alternating. So we're just looking at -1 to the n.
So if it's an alternating series, what do we do? What's the first step?
You find its limit.
Okay, so what do I do? Limit of what?
-1
Nope.
to infinity.
Nope.
No.
What's the a sub n here? This makes it alternate, so what's left when I drop that?
1,
And then, what conclusion do you make?
which means it doesn't equal 0, which means it also diverges.
By nth term test. Even though you start out by AST, this is still nth term. Or divergence test, whatever you want to call it. So now we know that that also gets a parentheses.
Yay.
Yay! Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope I clarified things for you a little bit, and practice, check out the videos as always, okay? Do we meet tomorrow?
Okay, perfect.